Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Honghuang. I am Liu Shen crossing the world of the wilderness, on a night filled with thunder and lightning, carrying 10,000 thunder tribulations, descended upon the wilderness. Rooted in the form of a willow tree, protecting the growth of the human race and becoming the unparalleled willow god. A leaf can separate mountains and rivers, a willow branch can penetrate the sky, a single tree root can spread through the wilderness. Swallow the essence and blood of the two races of witches and demons, and form divine fruit. Ding, absorb the essence and blood of the demon saint, with an evolution point of +1000000. Ding, absorb the essence and blood of the great witch, evolution point +1000000. Ding, absorb Kunpeng's essence and blood, evolution point +1000000. Ding, absorb too much essence and blood, evolution point +***. Ding, absorb the essence and blood of Emperor Jiang, evolution point +***. During the Lich Wars, when the human race is on the brink of weakness, let's see how Ye Feng leads countless human races to become the protagonists of the wilderness with the posture of a willow tree, overturning the heavens. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Crossing the Flood and Wilderness, Regenerating Trees. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Night, deep black, strong winds surging, dark clouds rolling in chaos, electric snakes and thunder shaking, sometimes disappearing and sometimes appearing, fierce beasts roaring in the black forest. In the valley, a soft green light shone like flames in the wind, sometimes big and sometimes small, but never extinguished. The light comes from a willow tree. A huge willow tree that stands up to 100 zhang tall and is over 10 zhang thick. The bark of the willow tree is scorched black, with black smoke rising and thunder snakes running faintly. It was split into withered flowers and willows by lightning. However, the green light shone in the scorched black, the broken bark layer by layer fell off, and the roots and willow twigs pulled out with strength. The regenerated bark and willow branches have infinite vitality. Ding, the host has successfully traversed, and the current world is the wilderness. Accompanied by the emotionless and unchanging mechanical sound, Ye Feng regained consciousness. In the dark night, the electric snake meandered, and Ye Feng instinctively rubbed his eyes. Ha! Where are my nimble and powerful hands? Who stole my hands? Ye Feng realized that he couldn't perceive his hands and could only see willow branches one by one. No, where are my big eyes? Ye Feng lost his hands and did not panic. He first observed his own situation. This observation shocked Ye Feng. His original body disappeared completely and was replaced by a willow tree, which had just been struck by lightning. When I first woke up, I seemed to hear about the flood and time travel, perhaps. My prize, my ticket, my beautiful woman like a cloud. In his past life, although Ye Feng was only 27 years old, he was well known in the scientific community, winning numerous awards and honors, and was nominated for Nobel Prize multiple times. Just half a step away from the Nobel Prize, a serious illness struck and Ye Feng passed away young. Heaven envies talents, Ye Feng sighed. However, crossing into the wilderness after death is also a great creation. It is possible to live forever and live the same life as heaven. Provided that one is not killed by saints or quasi-saints. But at least it's okay to wear a chaotic demon or an innate human race through time travel. Why wear it like a tree? Forget it, let's settle for it as soon as we come. Ye Feng has a good mentality, which is also the reason why he was able to succeed in his past life. Of course, the most important thing is that even if Ye Feng cannot accept this matter, he cannot make any changes. Ding, the test host has awakened and a beginner gift package has been distributed. Do you want to open it? Novice gift package. Gold finger. Open. The mechanical sound of the system continues to sound. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the divine power of devouring. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining an innate aura of armor and wood. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining evolution points plus 100. Then, Ye Feng saw his own attributes. Host. Ye Feng, world. Wilderness, body. Congenital willow tree, Shou Yuan. 1 Yuan meeting, destiny skill. Devouring, able to devour all absorbable items and creatures, replenish vitality, and grow rapidly. Ability. None, evolution point. 100 points, an unknown special energy that can quickly enhance the host's growth ability and enhance the power of supernatural abilities. The method of obtaining it is for the host to explore on their own. It's indeed a wasteland. The innate willow tree. It's pretty good. The divine power of this destiny looks quite powerful. Special energy. Explore on your own. I like this. Starting with 100 evolution points, not much, we need to consider how to use it. While Ye Feng was pondering, he heard cries and roars of pain not far away. Holy Mother, please help us drive away these fierce beasts. Has our human race been destroyed? We can't run away from them, we'll have to compete with them. Human race. Ye Feng looked into the distance and was unlikely to see a group of smooth and sleek human race fleeing towards him in embarrassment. Behind them, 9 fierce beasts chased and killed them in a half-moon shape. Seeing the fierce beast, Ye Feng was stunned. These 9 ferocious beasts are huge in size, each 10 meters tall, each with 2 animal heads. Each animal head carries a person, and when it looks up, it swallows the entire person. The fierce beast in the center is even taller and more powerful, with a blue-yellow mane around its neck and blood flowing from it. 2-headed lion. The human race was fleeing, and the male double-headed lion, led by it, showed a disdainful chuckle, with its 2 mouths open together. A stream of crimson water gushed out from the lion's mouth on the left, and earth pillars suddenly surged up from the ground on the right, piercing through many human races like strings. The crimson water instantly submerged the belly of the human race, greatly slowing down their escape speed. And the 2-headed lions were not affected, jumping towards the human race in the water and the stone pillars, swallowing one by one. With the size of a 2-headed lion, this group of humans cannot feed them enough. Ye Feng was furious at the sight. He had just traveled and saw the human race being slaughtered by the 2-headed fierce lions, feeling the pain and anger he felt with empathy. Ye Feng decided to save these human races. How can we save it? Ye Feng cannot control the body of this willow tree. By the way, evolution points. I want to evolve willows. The system sounds, the host chooses to evolve Willow, consuming 100 evolution points. A mysterious gray light lit up in the darkness and quickly dimmed again. Ye Feng suddenly felt that he could move, well, he could control a willow twig to move. As soon as his thoughts moved, the willow twig went against the strong wind, outlining various shapes and postures. Without time to experiment, the screams approaching the edge of the tree made Ye Feng eagerly throw out the willow twigs and pull towards a 2-headed lion about to bite the human race. The 2-headed lion is less than 200 meters away from the willow tree, and the willow twigs hit the 2-headed lion like whips. Pop bang! After a loud explosion, the slender willow twigs deflected the 2-headed lion and rescued the person from the lion's mouth. Roar! The food in the mouth was lost, and the 2-headed lion got up from the ground and roared fiercely at the willow branches. Ye Feng controlled the willow branches to draw again, knocking the provocative 2-headed lion away. Although he defeated the 2-headed lion, Ye Feng was not optimistic. Willow twigs can produce sonic booms, with exaggerated and powerful power and speed. If it were on Earth before crossing, this whip would definitely kill the African rhinoceros and pierce through a 1-meter-thick steel plate. However, this is in the wilderness, where quasi-saints walk on the land. The lion skin of a two-headed lion is even more exaggerated and hard than a steel plate several tens of meters thick. Therefore, a single whip can only knock down the two-headed lions, but it cannot harm them. The two-headed lion roared incessantly, causing the other 8 lions to come to a stop, mocking Ye Feng and roaring together, leaving behind the human race to force them over. The double-headed lion move aims to defeat Ye Feng first. For a moment, as Ye Feng watched 9 double-headed lions approaching, several tens of meters high, he wanted to turn around and run away. However, he is a willow tree and can only control one willow branch now. Running is impossible. Moreover, in Ye Feng's perspective, the two-headed lion, which is over 10 meters tall, is as small as a pug. He is 100 zhang tall willow tree. Evolution, Ye Feng silently instructed the system, continue to evolve willows. Since a single willow twig cannot kill a two-headed lion, then evolve 100. Ding, it has been detected that the host possesses an innate aura of armor and wood, and the power of the 9 thunder calamities can merge. Please choose the direction of evolution for the host. 1. Fusion. 2. Evolutionary Willow. New book release, Seeking Collection, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Reviews. Thank you all for your support. Chapter 2. Integration of Qi and Power, Showcasing Divine Power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The host chooses to fuse the innate aura of armor and wood, as well as the power of a 99 thunderbolt calamity, consuming a purification point of 0.1. The sound of the system rings again. A burst of green mist rose up, completely enveloping the willow tree. As the mist swallowed, tender new shoots slowly grew and transformed into 2 tender willow branches in a moment. Boom! At the same time, a thunderbolt suddenly appeared in the green mist, with a strong sense of destruction mixed with a vibrant mist. The tree body, covered in countless patterns, shimmered at this moment. The green mist swirled like the Milky Way in the sky, and with the flickering thunder and the same pattern of light, the entire towering willow tree seemed to transform into a world that was truly awe-inspiring. Nu Empress has appeared, Nu Empress has appeared. The humans chased by the two-headed lions were all stunned and exclaimed in surprise. Ye Feng also froze for a moment, not expecting that after merging these two forces, his body would undergo some changes. Roar! The group of 9-headed lions roared anxiously. The fierce beast's pupils carried a look of fear and unease. The fresh and tender branches swayed slowly, accompanied by several electric snakes winding around, containing powerful killing intent and vibrant power that truly moved Ye Feng. This golden finger has good treatment. The willow twitched suddenly. Pop! With a loud explosion, wherever the willow branches passed, there were remnants of the power of thunder, and the strong destructive atmosphere even briefly twisted the space together. Roar! With a low roar, the group of two-headed lions felt even more uneasy and stepped back with their huge claws, clearly wary of the changes in this willow tree. Do you still want to run? Looking at Ye Feng, the two-headed lion with a fearful voice, his heart moved. In order to prevent prey from escaping, he even habitually wants to chase after them. No. I'm a tree now. Accompanied by the violent shaking of the tree body, Ye Feng, deeply rooted, helplessly thought of it. Roar! The group of two-headed lions roared and seemed to have noticed Ye Feng's shortcomings. As a result, they once again focused their gaze on the somewhat helpless and fearful humans not far away. Help me, goddess Nu. A human with a beard all over his face widened his eyes, his body trembling with fear. Ye Feng's mind is full of black lines, and your goddess Nu doesn't look like this either. Although roast, he couldn't bear to see these people buried in the belly of lions. After all, he was a human in a previous life. However, even if he wanted to save him, he couldn't move his body. Once the two-headed lion exceeded Liuji's attack range, he was helpless. The two-headed lion approached step by step, even completely ignoring the swaying willow branches behind it. As the two-headed lion approached, the nearest human was trembling all over, and deep in his pupils was an endless fear of death. The two-headed lion raised its claws high. The massive body completely covered the helpless human, and Ye Feng was immediately delighted to see this. This position happened to be facing away from him. The willow branches extended and wrapped tightly around the two-headed lions at the extreme distance. The 9-9 thunderbolt calamity followed, and the two-headed lions suddenly turned extremely dark between lightning, fire, and stones. A burst of black smoke rose up along with it. Upon seeing this, Ye Feng was overjoyed, and his power truly satisfied him. Under the shock of the power of the 9-9 thunder robbery, the remaining two lion groups were completely unprepared, and danger was approaching them. The willow branches swept up and wrapped the strong body of the two-headed lion, causing it to struggle fiercely. But although the newly born willow branches may seem fragile and seem to break at once, their resilience is not something that a two-headed lion can easily break free from. The willow branch tightly imprisoned the body of the two-headed lion, and then suddenly shook it. Boom! The huge body hit the ground fiercely, and the two-headed lion let out a hissing sound. Ye Feng's heart twitched, and the willow branch stood upright with a pointed end. The seemingly weak end of the willow branch was as cold as a sharp sword tip, swallowing and swallowing. The end of the willow branch suddenly pierced away. Puzzle. With a muffled sound, the two-headed lion's seemingly strong body was easily pierced by willow branches like paper. Obtain 100 evolution points. The sound of the system rang out accordingly. Ye Feng was stunned for a moment. It took 100 evolution points to grow a willow branch, and hunting a two-headed lion could grow 2 willow branches. This deal is simply not very cost-effective. With a thought, the evolution points were consumed again. Layers of mist filled the air, and the radiance flowed through the mist. Another new willow branch slowly stretched out, its emerald green and flexible body full of vitality. However, the power of the 9-9 thunder calamities contained in it did carry a heavy and lifeless aura. This is the pure power of thunder and tribulation in the world. Not to mention these two-headed lions, even Dalai and Zhuansheng have some fear towards them. The willow branch slowly pulled out, with a hint of crimson on its tip that was eye-catching. Drops of crystal clear blood slowly fell, and Ye Feng was secretly shocked. After integrating those two forces, it seemed that even the power of the willow branch had increased. In addition, hunting the two-headed lion to obtain evolution points seemed to be an easy deal, so Ye Feng immediately shifted his focus to the other two-headed lions. The other two-headed lions retreated in fear and even had a strong desire to escape when they saw their companions being easily killed. But how can Ye Feng do as they wish? The willow branches swept up to the ground, and the lightning and fire stones rushed towards the nearest two-headed lion. The tough willow branches tightly wrapped around the two-headed lion, and then the thorns turned at the end, fiercely stabbing it. Swallow the two-headed lion to obtain 100 evolution points. The remaining willow branches danced like a group of demons, attacking the other two-headed lions just as the system sound fell. Swallow the two-headed lion to obtain 100 evolution points. The sound of the system kept ringing, but in the blink of an eye, the 9-headed double-headed lion died instantly and transformed into a total of 900 evolution points and arrived in Ye Feng's body. Unfortunately, the quantity is too small. Ye Feng sighed in her breath. However, just because Ye Feng's voice was heard, all humans immediately became puzzled. How could a voice come from the tree, and it was still a slightly green male voice? The expression of the rescued humans suddenly became strange. This is not Goddess Nuwa, it's Liu Shen. With a cry of surprise, they quickly climbed up and approached Ye Feng trembling. If Ye Feng still had his handsome face, he would probably keep twitching. He never said he was the goddess of Nuwa from beginning to end, right? When will Empress Nuwa be born in this deep mountain forest? Liu Shen has appeared, thank you for saving his life. After getting close enough to Ye Feng, this group of humans saw that the willow branches had no desire to attack. They all let go and rolled on the ground, shouting loudly. At the same time, a faint golden light slowly gathered towards Ye Feng, which was hard to see to the naked eye. New book release, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking reviews, thank you all for your support. Chapter 3. Is this a big bird? The power of faith. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Gold dots, absorbed by the uniquely patterned tree body. Ye Feng only felt a jolt in his mind, as there seemed to be many more voices coming out, and the source of the voices was the human kneeling below. Their inner prayers turned into a bright lamp gradually rising from Ye Feng's mind. The power of faith. Ye Feng exclaimed to himself in surprise. With a thought, the willow branches kept dancing and cleaned up all the residue on the robes of many human beasts. Many humans first had a change in expression, then continued to kneel down with all their bodies thrown down, and the sound of their heads colliding with the ground was incredibly clear. This made the bright light in Ye Feng's heart even brighter. Lord Liu Shen, this is the best product I brought home in a hurry. This is my little respect for Lord Liu Shen. Without any effort, this group of humans all returned to the tribe and brought many top-notch items to be placed in front of Ye Feng. A fragrant aroma rushed in, and Ye Feng swallowed a mouthful of saliva. It must be said that the meat aroma was truly heart-stopping. Unfortunately, he is now a big tree as he meows. Afterwards, this group of humans kept praying and left this place with satisfaction. In an instant, the surroundings became silent, with occasional bird calls. This sudden calmness made Ye Feng somewhat uncomfortable, especially when there were waves of meat fragrance wafting from under his feet. Buzzing. The tree trembled, and Ye Feng's mind was filled with black lines. Even when he was hungry, his reaction was so strange. With a gloomy mood of not being able to enjoy himself, Ye Feng slowly fell asleep. Night falls. In the mountains, there is silence, and a blood-red full moon hangs high in the sky. Hoo-hoo. Sometimes there are gusts of cool breeze blowing, swaying the trees. In the middle of the night, the ground trembled and there were faint animal roars that occasionally sounded. Countless wild beasts seemed to be strolling in the mountains, and in countless forests, a pair of animal pupils flicker like lanterns in the forest. Hoo-ha. The sound of thick breathing occasionally sounds. Scream. The wind blew and the leaves rustled, making a willow tree several 100 feet tall stand out among the many trees. The trees around it moved with the wind, but the willow tree remained unmoved. The only few thick willow branches drooped silently, standing in the distance and taking a closer look, it seemed like a person was sleeping. Roar. A bird-winged giant tiger let out a roar, then stomped its hooves and slowly walked towards the offerings under the huge willow tree. The originally low and soft willow branches suddenly turned into sharp whips, sweeping towards the massive body, entangled and stabbing. The whole process was incredibly smooth. The bird-winged giant tiger let out a mournful cry, and then turned into a bloody corpse. Obtain 100 evolution points. The sound of the system rang out accordingly. This sacrifice is still useful, at least it can attract many wild beasts to come and die. Ye Feng looked at the willow branches covered in blood and said with satisfaction. The willow branches were closed and I continued to take a nap. The whole process was quite pleasant. Some wild beasts witnessed all of this, and the awe they felt made them afraid to get too close to the willow tree, which also made the surroundings of Ye Feng quiet. On the other hand, in the opposite direction of the mountain, strange-looking figures stared at the crimson full moon and stepped into the midst of the mountain. They have a peculiar appearance, and their eyes are bloodthirsty, contrasting with the blood moonlight. Nearby humans love to come to this place for hunting, but you have discovered a paradise. The crocodile-headed guy uttered a hoarse and even somewhat obscure human voice. Jia, this place is special, even if someone wants to intervene, they are powerless. The sharp-mouthed Dapeng sneered. With the arrival of these great demons, the full moon on Mount Bu Zhou became even more crimson. The next day, the mist from Bu Zhou Mountain lingered, and a dazzling light penetrated the clouds and shone on Ye Feng's massive body. The delicate willow branches swayed, and Ye Feng slowly woke up to embark on another boring journey of the day. From time to time, we hunt and kill one or two giant beasts that invade our territory, either by gazing into the sky, and our days are still relatively leisurely. However, unlike in the past, when humans go up the mountain, they leave behind some prey as sacrifices to seek shelter. However, what Ye Feng gains is only sporadic power of faith. He hasn't figured out what this thing is really useful until now, but it's better than nothing, right? Ye Feng stretched out the willow branches and was about to have a beautiful sleep and promote photosynthesis, but he heard a rapid sound of footsteps approaching this place. Liu Shen, help me. The cry for help from humanity rang out. Upon hearing the call for help, Ye Feng looked over and saw a group of humans crawling to the bottom. A black shadow in the sky overlapped with the circular sun, diving down. The speed makes the whistling sound explode like lightning. Not a wild beast. With a fierce tremor from the wind, the willow branches began to sway. When the black shadow came, the willow branch rolled up the lazy human and the black shadow pounced on it. A pair of black wings kept flapping, and a pair of eagle eyes stared coldly at Ye Feng. His body was estimated to be over 20 zhang long, standing at Ye Feng's feet. A pair of wings with the same pair of barbed iron claws, and a pitch-black feather highlighted this guy's identity, as if he were a smaller Dapeng. Big bird! Ye Feng exclaimed in surprise. Upon hearing this, the great peng bird folded its wings and looked contemptuously at Ye Feng. I still wonder why this human is running here. It turns out that there is a mature tree. I advise you not to meddle in your own affairs, as cultivation is not easy. Dapeng spat out words and joked. The eagle eye looked up and down at Ye Feng's body, and greed flashed through his pupils. Liu Shen. Looking at the massive Dapeng, the human voice trembled and called out. The power of faith was constantly pouring in, and Ye Feng's mind moved to let go of humanity. I carry the blood of a great Peng. The Dapeng bird roared again, but intended to make Ye Feng surrender voluntarily. But as soon as he finished speaking, he saw 4 willow branches suddenly attacking him, skillfully winding and stabbing at lightning speed, making it impossible for the Dapeng bird to react. I am. The strong and resilient willow branch felt difficult to break free, and the Dapeng bird was about to say something, only feeling a pain all over his body. The willow branch stabbed into his body without any pause. Obtain evolution points, 3,000 points. The sound of the system rang out, and Ye Feng was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect this big bird to have many benefits. Thank you very much, Liu Shen, for saving my life. Thank you very much, Liu Shen. Humanity exclaimed in gratitude, while more power of faith poured into Ye Feng's tree body one after another. Help, big demon. Just saved a few humans, and not far away, there was a sound coming again. I saw several humans being chased by a few strange-looking creatures, which was in the direction of Ye Feng. It's strange. What's going on today? So many big monsters have come. The leaf wind trembled and the willow branches murmured. New book release, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking reviews, thank you all for your support. Chapter 4. The Impenetrable Heavenly Crocodile, Evolutionary Point Soars. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom boom. Several big demon hooves rolled and the ground shook uncontrollably, as if an earthquake was coming. Upon entering, the leader of the demon was a large crocodile with a dark body and scales resembling iron armor, several tens of zhang long. Its sharp teeth hooked out from its mouth, as if it were soaring to the sky. It crawled forward, moving rapidly like black lightning. Following closely behind him were several great demons, all of which were great beasts with some cultivation in the wilderness. Ye Feng's heart twitched, and the willow branches entwined the several humans one after another and brought them back to him. Seeing this scene, several big demons stopped and looked at Ye Feng's feet with a shocked expression. A blood-soaked body of a great Peng appeared extremely dazzling, with golden light lingering on the body, and the drop of great Peng's essence blood was easily swallowed by Ye Feng's willow branches. How dare you kill Dapeng? The crocodile's mouth spewed out human words, turning into rolling thunder. The great Peng, carrying the phoenix bloodline, is a descendant of the holy beast. With this identity, the great Peng bird is accustomed to being arrogant and domineering in daily life. Some great demons either avoid their sharp edges or take a detour. How could I be killed by a tree spirit now? Ye Feng shook the willow branch and placed the human in front of him. The drop of essence and blood was absorbed by him, and there seemed to be a fuzzy mark on the road pattern. Is this guy still a big Peng? If Ye Feng could show his face at this moment, he would definitely be convulsing uncontrollably. The pitch-black feathers all over his body made him think it was just a refined crow, but he didn't expect it to have a significant impact. Kill him, otherwise we won't be able to go back and complete the mission. The crocodile took a step forward, causing the ground to shake. Several willow branches of Ye Feng seemed somewhat fragile in front of this towering crocodile. Evolving willow branch. Ye Feng's mind was stirred, and he had accumulated many evolutionary points over the past few days. Now it was time to put them to use. After all, he was facing a big demon. Especially the towering crocodile, with a body measuring tens of feet like a small mountain, its scales reflecting the cold light in the sunlight, must be incredibly sturdy. Layers of mist spewed out, and dozens of brand new willow branches slowly grew. The tender green willow branches seemed to break at a snap. Humph, even your delicate willow branch wants to stop me. Tongtian crocodile spat out human words, opened its bloodthirsty mouth, and two towering sharp teeth on its mouth unexpectedly brought two sharp edges straight towards Ye Feng. The sharpness has reached its extreme, and the ground has been marked by a deep ravine. The willow branches sway and gather in front to form a protective net to protect the leaves and wind. The sharp edge bombarded the tree, causing it to shake continuously. The tender green willow branches also formed a faint white mark, and besides that, the leaf wind remained unscathed. How could it be possible? The crocodile exclaimed in surprise, but how could a small tree spirit resist his fierce attack? Ye Feng's heart twitched as dozens of willow branches rushed towards the crocodile in the sky. The other birds and beasts also began to show their supernatural powers, only to see the light devouring and countless attacks rushing straight towards the huge tree. At first, Ye Feng was somewhat cautious, but after the attack hit him, he felt nothing but pain and no threat. This guy is capable of killing Dapeng, his strength is not weak. The heavenly crocodile looked at the roaring willow branches and exclaimed in surprise. However, before he could finish speaking, the willow branches wrapped around him and lifted him high, fiercely smashing him to the ground. The end of the willow branch turned into a thorn and headed straight towards the hard armor. Kang! With a crisp sound, the once invincible willow branch failed to penetrate the massive body of the heavenly crocodile. Huh, my scales can be pierced as you say. The crocodile in the sky froze for a moment and burst out laughing, the soft flesh between its neck clearly visible. While he was still arrogant, the end of the willow branch thrust fiercely again, straight towards his soft rib. The Tongtian crocodile was completely unaware that its weaknesses had been exposed. The willow branch easily penetrated into it, bleeding profusely. The round beast's pupils suddenly widened and looked at Ye Feng in disbelief. He was killed like this. The other demons became fearful and even wanted to leave. But how can Ye Feng accommodate their wishes? The willow branches crisscrossed and roared as they headed straight towards several big demons. Puzzy. The sound of the tip piercing into their bodies was incredibly pleasant, and blood splattered out, covering the entire ground. Ding, obtain evolution points, 100. Ding, obtain evolution points, 100. Ding, obtain evolution points, 100. The system's sound was continuous, and then Ye Feng saw his attribute interface. Host. Ye Feng, world. Wilderness, body. Congenital willow tree, Shou Yuan. 1 Yuan meeting, destiny skill. Devouring, able to devour all absorbable items and creatures, replenish vitality, and grow rapidly. Ability. None, evolution point. 2000 points, an unknown special energy that can quickly enhance the host's growth ability and enhance the power of supernatural abilities. The method of obtaining it is for the host to explore on their own. At this moment, Liu had a total of 20 branches, but compared to his towering body, it still seemed a bit unsightly, making Ye Feng look somewhat bald. Thank you very much, Liu Shen. Looking at the corpses of the previous demonic creatures waving their teeth and claws everywhere, the rescued humans exclaimed gratefully. Countless power of faith transformed into related dots of golden light pouring into Ye Feng's massive body, and they also returned to the tribe with countless offerings and personnel from other tribes. This made Ye Feng's feet filled with fragrant offerings, and at the same time, he seemed to be regarded by the people of this tribe as the guardian deity of the tribe. However, Ye Feng couldn't be happy. From his previous battle with the Tongtian crocodile, he discovered a fatal flaw in himself, which was the lack of divine powers. All his attack methods seemed to be just a transformation of willow branches. In the world of the wilderness, this is undoubtedly a fatal flaw. Without divine powers to protect oneself, it is difficult for him to achieve self-protection. He would never be able to drive away the wilderness beasts or scatter demons in this place for a lifetime, would he? Is there no prompt in the system? Ye Feng murmured in an extremely gloomy voice. From the attribute interface, things related to divine powers are naturally evolution points. It is precisely for this reason that Ye Feng now has many evolution points and has not been used to fully evolve Liu, just to prepare for divine powers. Is it because there aren't enough evolution points, or hasn't something triggered? Numerous doubts gathered in Ye Feng's mind, leaving him at a loss. The matter of this divine power can only be temporarily put aside. Not to mention outside of Zhoushan, among countless towering trees, one that has withered is extremely eye-catching. From time to time, golden light flashed over the big tree, accompanied by a cry. The golden light suddenly glared, and a thick breath was released. When the light dissipated, a giant bird nearly 50 feet tall lay dormant on the withered tree. New book release, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking reviews, thank you all for your support. Chapter 5. Dapeng bird arrives, are you his father? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Flowing light swirled around, although the tree body withered, there were still branches stretching out from the withered colored bark. The branches extended forward, with fresh and tender fiery red leaves streaming through them, and a wave of heat felt as one approached the big tree. This tree seems to be the ancient Wudong tree. Roaming and rumbling. Above the top of the tree, the big bird covered in black feathers shook its wings, and a fiery red feather in its neck was very eye-catching. It's been quite some time, why hasn't Xiaopeng come back yet? The giant bird spat out human words and used its huge beak to comb the fiery red feathers between its neck. Dapeng Wang, according to Xiaopeng Wang's personality, he should be back now. Will it be? A giant snake, Shinko, tightly wrapped in black scales, swallowed and said. When the bird at the top of the Wudong tree heard the words, the eagle's pupil suddenly gave the snake a cold glance. Feeling waves of coldness, the big snake shrank its head and crawled on the ground, unable to speak. Xiaopeng's own cultivation is quite good, can he be killed by relying on the humans near Bu Zhou Mountain? Dapeng looked into the distance and said in a deep voice, the feathers between his neck burning like a flame under the sunlight. The big snake stopped speaking, and the snake's son slowly swam away, afraid that Dapeng would swallow him if he were unhappy. The Dapeng bird gazed towards the misty Bu Zhou Mountain in the distance, and in a moment of thought, its wings suddenly spread out, with nearly 100 zhang of wings blocking the sky and sun. With one wing, the entire forest was swept away by a hurricane. The loud chirping of birds followed, and the Dapeng bird flew rapidly towards Bu Zhou Mountain like a black light. This movement was not big or small, but it still alarmed many big demons around the forest. What did the Dapeng bird do to make such a commotion? In a high mountain cave, a fierce tiger lazily walked out of the cave, and the beast's eyes gazed at the direction of the great pengbird's departure, not knowing what it was thinking. Moreover, on Mount Bu Zhou, Ye Feng fell into a deep sleep, and his feet were filled with countless sacrificial offerings. Whenever some of the offerings were about to decay, he could always make the human race withdraw and replace them with fresh food. Such days were also carefree and joyful. And from time to time, there are also a few short-sighted giant beasts approaching, each turning into nutrients for Ye Feng. During his nap, a hurricane inexplicably stirred up, only to see the clouds rolling in the sky, and the gradually descending round sun was obscured by the sky. The willow branches swayed, and Ye Feng woke up in surprise, looking curiously towards the west. A black shadow was constantly magnified, and the target accurately headed straight towards Ye Feng. As the black shadow gradually approached, Ye Feng suddenly felt the imprints on his body becoming fiery, as if they were burning. The tree trembled, and Ye Feng could clearly see the faint light emanating from the veins that had consumed essence and blood. As he looked carefully, he only felt the light around him dim, as if he had fallen into a dark shadow. A giant bird hovered above its head and then landed on top, swaying the tree body. Ye Feng clearly felt the piercing sensation of the inverted claws deeply embedded in his body. I am a great peng bird from Mount Bu Zhou. Why does my son's breath come from you? The Dapeng bird let out a question from its mouth, and its hooked eagle claws deepened a bit. This demon has some cultivation, and the fiery red feather in his neck is really eye-catching. Is it another big bird? Ye Feng paused for a moment and murmured. How dare you blaspheme me? No wonder this sect has turned your difficult cultivation into nothing. The Dapeng bird surprisingly showed a humanized angry expression. Later, Ye Feng only felt a sharp pain coming from his body. Brushing. Under intense pain, countless willow branches turned into sharp spikes and headed straight towards the Dapeng bird. The Dapeng bird was startled and spread its wings high, constantly circling and observing Ye Feng in mid-air. Under the eagle's eye, the faint golden bloodstain remaining on the willow branch was eye-catching, and the familiar aura greeted them. Eagle's eyes scanned around, and in no time, they noticed a flesh-torn corpse under Ye Feng's feet. They were both big birds, although not as big as Dapeng, their appearance was somewhat similar. You actually killed my son. The eagle's eyes shrank, and then a raging fire erupted. Hurricanes rise everywhere, stirring leaves and twigs swaying, and willow branches dancing with the wind. What? Are you the father of that big bird? Ye Feng asked curiously. I will destroy you. The Dapeng bird emitted a resounding cloud night cry with endless roar. The sound lingered for a long time, and the people at the foot of the mountain listened attentively. The big demons from 100 miles around were all startled and hurriedly approached towards the direction of Bu Zhou Mountain. Dapeng's commotion is probably due to his beloved baby's accident. Surprisingly, someone dares to touch his scales. Several big demons talked about it one after another, and before they could even enter the mountains, they saw the great peng hovering in the air, facing each other with the same huge willow tree. Hurricanes keep shaking the mountains and forests. The sky changes color, the clouds roll, and this movement is truly heart-stopping. When did Bu Zhou Shan have a willow tree? A snow-white giant tiger let out an exclamation of surprise. As soon as his words fell, the Dapeng bird let out a roar of anger, its beak slowly opened, and the merciless flames rushed towards Ye Feng like a raging flood. The fire wave spread over the surface, and before Ye Feng could even reach it, the large trees around it had already been engulfed by the fire waves and turned into dust. The rock bird has occupied the wudong tree for many years, but it has cultivated such skills. At the foot of the mountain, the snow-white giant tiger let out a cry of surprise, and the eyes of the difficult beast were filled with surprise. Ye Feng felt unbearable heat all over his body, as if he had been placed in a steamer. The tree emitted a mist, and the aura of armor and wood was released to protect Ye Feng. Subsequently, dozens of willow branches danced wildly, and the power of thunder and tribulation condensed within them. The willow branches gathered and headed straight towards the flames. In an instant, lightning flashed and thunder roared, flames spewed out, and a hurricane swept through the area where Ye Feng was located. Even the land was torn apart by that terrifying hurricane. Some skills. Despite his anger and murderous aura, the soaring Dapeng bird seemed to have discovered Ye Feng's extraordinary ability to block his true flame of samadhi, which truly surprised him. This willow tree is probably not easy. The other demons exclaimed in surprise. They were only spectators and had no intention of coming forward to help. The blow did not succeed, and the great Peng bird kept circling. Suddenly, waves of hurricanes became incredibly fierce, like a small knife cutting through the willow branches of the leaf wind, attempting to cut them all apart. However, the willow branches have extremely strong resilience, allowing the wind blade to cut them without any other changes except for shallow white marks. New book release, Seeking Collection, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Reviews. Thank you all for your support. Chapter 6 Rebirth from the Fire. Phoenix, Opening the Path of Cultivation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kind. The Dapeng bird kept flashing its huge wings, countless hurricanes swept up, and countless flames burst out on the tender willow branches. Ye Feng was also secretly surprised by the resilience of the willow branches, seemingly fragile but like a sturdy Xuanwu turtle shell, difficult to break through. I'm so angry. Seeing the helpless willow tree, the Dapeng bird was covered in hair, and deep in its pupils, there seemed to be a flame burning, ready to burn Ye Feng to death. Its wings were fierce, and its massive body rushed straight into the clouds, as if fleeing into the wilderness. Its body gradually turned into a black dot, imprinted on the sunset. Ye Feng's heart inexplicably tightened, with a hint of ominous premonition. Is Dapeng going to use his own divine power? The expression of the great demon white tiger at the foot of the mountain also became extremely solemn. The sun is setting in the distance, half hidden among the flashes, and the afterglow is shining. The Dapeng, located in the center of the sunset, suddenly spread its wings, and the fiery red feather between its neck shone brightly. A loud cry echoed all around, even Ye Feng felt extremely piercing. Bu Zhou Mountain was also affected by the roar of many wild beasts crawling on the ground, their bodies trembling uncontrollably, as if they were about to be devoured by the giant rock bird in the next second. The willow branches swayed, and Ye Feng had to handle them with caution. Since his time traveling, nothing has given him a sense of crisis, and this is the first case of the great Peng bird. However, looking at it from a different perspective, it is surprising that Ye Feng has no supernatural powers and can become the leader of Mount Bu Zhou by relying on the strength of willow branches. The Dapeng bird shook its huge wings and suddenly plunged down from the air. The feathers on the neck suddenly burned, flames kept flowing, and the dark feathers of the Dapeng bird were instantly consumed. The dazzling flames quietly enveloped Dapeng's body. At first glance, the blazing fire seemed to have turned into the bright red of a great rock bird. Why does this appearance look like a phoenix? Ye Feng feels it's really important to be curious. As the Dapeng bird approached, an unnamed flame storm continued to ravage the surroundings. Rebirth from the ashes is like a phoenix. The big peng in the eyes of the demon white tiger was getting closer and closer, and the towering flames were like the neon lights accompanying the phoenix. Dozens of willow branches gathered together by Ye Feng and contracted onto the trunk. When the great Peng bird approached, Ye Feng's mind moved and the willow branches gathered and entwined to form a sharp thorn. Boom! The power of the Nine Thunder robbery keeps exploding. Dapeng's figure became clearer and clearer, and Ye Feng suddenly thrust forward at the right moment. In an instant, there was silence all around, as if only Ye Feng and Dapeng bird were left. The two have not yet completely collided, and an unnamed hurricane is ravaging the entire Bu Zhou Mountain. Boom! With a loud bang, the glow swallowed, and a tragic cry, invisible waves spread out from the surrounding mountains. The big demons at the foot of the mountain were all stunned, and the aftermath of such collisions seemed like a collision between the great Luo golden immortals, which was truly astonishing. As the dazzling light dissipated and the surrounding scene gradually became clear, the great Peng bird lay at the feet of Ye Feng, its feathers all disappearing, like a plucked roasted chicken. A faint burnt smell permeated the air, and at this moment, Ye Feng was also uncomfortable. Dozens of willow branches were burned off by the terrifying flames, and the cut was pitch black. Surprisingly, this willow tree has blocked the Dapeng bird's innate divine power. The white tiger at the foot of the mountain let out a cry of surprise. Ye Feng may not know the strength of the Dapeng bird, but he is clear about it. Xiaopeng has a drop of phoenix blood essence, and this Dapeng bird has grown a phoenix feather. Its innate ability is to use that phoenix feather to bathe in the fire and be reborn, briefly transforming into a phoenix. Although it cannot be compared to a real phoenix, its power is still heart-stopping. After taking this blow, the willow tree only broke dozens of willow branches without any major damage, but the big rock bird was on the brink of death. As long as the willow tree was willing, it could take his life in an instant. The power of the 9-9 thunder robbery. Who are you, the Holy One? The Dapeng bird looked at Ye Feng incredulously and asked. The branches swayed, and Ye Feng secretly felt overjoyed. He didn't even pay attention to the words of the Dapeng bird. The previous collisions had all demonstrated the extraordinary qualities of this Dapeng bird. If he were to kill it, he wouldn't know how much evolution he could gain. With a thought, the remaining willow branches pierced into the body of the Dapeng bird one after another. This seat is carrying phoenix blood. Before speaking, the willow branches pierced through the roots, and the essence and blood flowed. The Dapeng bird then turned into a little golden light and dissipated from all around. Whatever you are, I see you look like a roasted chicken. Hunt the descendant of the phoenix, the great Peng bird, to obtain 10,000 evolution points. Ding, open the path of cultivation. Current cultivation level, golden immortal, choose to open the divine power. The system sounds one after another, and then the property version reappears. Host. Ye Feng, world. Wilderness, body. Congenital willow tree, Shou Yuan. 1 Yuan meeting, cultivation, golden immortal, destiny skill. Devouring, able to devour all absorbable items and creatures, replenish vitality, and grow rapidly. Currently, activate the skill selection, waiting for the host to choose. Ability. None, evolution point. 12,000 points, an unknown special energy that can quickly enhance the host's growth ability and enhance the power of supernatural abilities. The method of obtaining it is for the host to explore on their own. Cultivation. I just started practicing now. Ye Feng's mind was filled with black lines. He originally thought that his golden fingers were extremely rebellious, but he didn't expect that he had just started his cultivation now. No wonder he didn't have any divine powers to choose from before. It doesn't matter. At the beginning of cultivation, it was the realm of the golden immortal. In addition, killing prey can obtain evolution points. The process of cultivation is twice as effective, but now the most important thing is to choose divine powers. Ye Feng comforted himself. While Ye Feng was on his own, the many big demons below became chaotic. Strange faces seemed to be painted with countless question marks, accompanied by a gentle breeze, and they couldn't help but ask many questions. Who am I, where is this, and what happened? That's the Dapeng bird, and it also gave birth to phoenix feathers. This willow spirit is willing to kill without any fear. Is this guy bold or ignorant and fearless? This guy even killed the Dapeng bird. Who dares to set foot in this place in the future? A big demon swallowed a mouthful of saliva and said with a trembling voice. With the use of their own divine powers, there may not be a single demon here who is a match for Ye Feng. The white tiger demon took a deep breath and resolutely lifted his leg to walk towards Ye Feng. The surrounding demons were all stunned when they saw this. And he secretly guessed to himself, what is this white tiger going to do? Is it because of his neighborhood relationship with Dapeng that he wants to avenge Dapeng? New book release, Seeking Collection, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Reviews. Thank you all for your support. Chapter 7. Divine Ability Selection, Forest and Everything. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Young Mountain White Tiger, pay respects to the immortal. Ye Feng was about to activate his divine power selection when a muffled voice rang out. With a muffled thud, he saw a white tiger standing several tens of feet tall, crawling on all fours and bowing down like a human to Ye Feng. What? A white tiger in the mountains? Ye Feng was stunned for a moment, and with a subconscious doubt, the remaining 10 willow branches swayed wildly. The white tiger's body trembled, its huge head slightly lifted, and a pair of animal pupils looked at Ye Feng in fear. I am indeed just a big white tiger in the mountains. The voice of the great demon white tiger trembled slightly. In a certain sense, after Ye Feng killed the Dapeng bird, he faintly became the hegemon around Bu Zhou Mountain, and it was reasonable for the white tiger to come forward and express his submission. After all, Ye Feng's displayed strength is even higher than that of the Dapeng bird. The big demon at the foot of the mountain moved inwardly upon seeing this, and quickly walked towards the mountain, kneeling in front of Ye Feng like the big demon white tiger to express submission. Coincidentally, humans near Mount Bu Zhou also hurriedly arrived upon hearing the commotion. After seeing this scene, their reverence for Ye Feng deepened in their hearts. Ye Feng was momentarily stunned as he watched the many demons crawling on the ground. Can it be considered that a young man had taken the initiative to deliver them to his door? Many demons, seeing that Ye Feng had not given any answer, became uneasy one by one. They had seen clearly before how the Dapeng bird had transformed into fragments of golden light in the sky. One by one, they shrank their necks, afraid of the same fate. The expressions of many big demons below appeared clearly in front of Ye Feng. If all the big demons in the surrounding area of Mount Zhou were obedient to his orders, then he would not need to take any action to hunt and kill the giant beasts in the wilderness. These big demons can still guard around Bu Zhou Mountain, and if there is any change, he can also know in advance, which saves him a lot of trouble. What does this mean, you guys? Ye Feng deliberately lengthened his tone and said, his deep voice echoing all around, as if suddenly appearing from between heaven and earth. The big demon below heard a deep sound, which made their hearts tense. In their eyes, Ye Feng might be some kind of influential Deluo Jin Xian who came here to meditate. The white tiger in the mountains is willing to serve the great immortal. The great demon white tiger rushed in front of all the great demons and immediately kowtowed a few times. Dong dong dong. The sound was clear and pleasant, and the ground trembled slightly. We are also willing to serve the great immortal. Seeing the white tiger's statement, how could the other demons slack off and kowtow their heads one by one, each more crisp than the other, afraid that Ye Feng might not be able to see it? You can go back wherever you come from there. Please keep an eye out for the surroundings of Mount Bu Zhou. If there is any abnormal activity somewhere, please report it quickly. Of course, this seat will not give you any less benefits. Ye Feng continued in a deep voice. The big demons below are all overjoyed upon hearing these words. As long as they receive the favor or guidance of Ye Feng, they will practice faster than year after year. Countless demons hurriedly thanked and then stood up to leave. With Ye Feng's words, it meant that their future cultivation would definitely start a new world. After many monsters left, the system interface reappeared. Activate Divine Power Selection. Ye Feng took a deep breath into his airway. Nowadays, one's cultivation level is the Golden Immortal. Without a divine ability for self-defense, one cannot unleash the power of this realm. As soon as his voice falls, the attribute interface changes accordingly. The host begins to choose supernatural powers. A golden light flashed past, and dozens of options appeared on the interface, which were just a few divine powers, perfectly corresponding to the situation of Ye Feng at that moment. Forest and everything, an ancient supernatural power, with a single movement of mind that transforms into a myriad of willows. A golden light flickered, and Ye Feng saw a tall willow tree sitting between heaven and earth, accompanied by the shining light of the laws of the Great Road. He saw the branches of the willow tree begin to grow wildly with golden light. By transforming 1 into 2 and 2 into 4, countless golden branches envelop the entire ground like a golden sea. The ground shakes, the sky is dark, the branches become stronger and stronger, and they are vigorous among countless branches. Numerous strange flowers and plants grow up with them, and the breath of life emanates. However, the earth becomes lifeless and lifeless, as if essence has been drained by willows. Life and death accompany each other, transforming the two extremes of the Tao. Ye Feng exclaimed in surprise, as if he had absorbed the qi of armor and wood, which was in opposition to the 9 thunder calamity. However, they could also unleash endless vitality and destructive energy simultaneously. This divine power is as if it is tailored for his energy. Just this divine power. Ye Feng seemed to take a deep breath, and his huge body trembled with it. Choose the divine power, forest and everything, and spend 10,000 evolution points. The sound of the system rang out, and then the golden light disappeared into Ye Feng's massive body. As the golden light penetrated, Ye Feng's tree body shook with it, and forest and everything had been learned by Ye Feng. In an instant, the tender green willow branches swallowed with golden light, and the originally broken branches grew again. Ye Feng felt that his willow branches seemed to have become more resilient. With a thought, the willow branches shone with golden light and then thrived wildly. The golden willow leaves sprouted tender buds on the branches, gradually becoming thicker and extending forward for a few seconds. Only 20 willow branches can transform into hundreds of willow branches. Roar. With a low roar, a giant beast in the wilderness swayed its huge body and walked slowly from afar. The location of the giant beast in the wilderness happened to step over Ye Feng's territory. Natural selection, the law of the jungle, don't blame me. With a murmur, the golden willow branch suddenly pounced towards the vast beast in the wilderness. The branches spread, but in a moment, they wrapped the tens of Zhang body layer by layer. The golden light swallowed up on the branches, and occasionally 2 or 3 golden butterflies danced on the newly opened tender buds. Looking at the vast and desolate beast again, its skin was dull, and its flesh and blood quickly melted away, making the willow branches thicker and more likely to extend to thousands of meters. Ye Feng was secretly shocked. This was a killing power. If he encountered a group of demons attacking him, he even suspected that his willow branches could cover the entire Bu Zhou Mountain. Remaining 8,000 evolution points, do you want to continue choosing divine powers? The sound of the system rings again. Ye Feng's heart twitched as he realized that he could still choose divine powers. The interface reappeared, and this time there was no divine power similar to that of the forest and all things. However, Ye Feng carefully chose 2 divine powers, Divine Thunder Decision and Immortal and Endless, which could allow his 9/9 Thunder Calamity power to exert unexpected power and also allow the armor and wood qi to be better utilized. Divine Selection confirmed, consuming 8,000 evolution points. The sound of the system echoed one after another, remembering 3 divine powers that cost Ye Feng 18,000 evolution points, which made him feel a bit heartbroken. New book release, Seeking Collection, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Reviews, thank you all for your support. Chapter 8. Eternal Desolation Overlord, Killed by Me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Outside the mountains, the world is diverse, with a land of birds singing and flowers fragrant, as well as a land of lush forests. This naturally has a desolate land of eternal antiquity, as well as a swamp filled with foul odors. Just 100 miles away from Mount Bu Zhou, in a desolate land of Honghuang, a high mountain rises into the clouds, and on the mountaintop, there are many different forms of great demons. A huge crocodile with a pair of towering sharp teeth and covered in black-purple scales is very eye-catching, and beneath it, there are countless crawling demons on the ground. In this ancient and desolate land, almost no one dares to step into it, even the giant beasts in the wilderness have to take a detour. Hiccup. The towering crocodile let out a deep belch, the sound deafening like thunder, and behind it were piles of bones piled up in the mountains. Under the sunlight, the bones flickered with cold flashes, inexplicably causing one's back to tighten. How many hours have it been? Why hasn't the little crocodile come back yet? The giant crocodile played with its sharp claws and said contentedly. Report to the king. Your nephew has been to Mount Bu Zhou for some days now and has not received any news yet. A giant tiger's body kept trembling as it spoke. He was afraid of saying something wrong, which made the towering crocodile unhappy and swallowed him in one gulp. The towering crocodile furrowed its brow, with two pairs of towering sharp teeth and a cold gleam on top of its ferocious face. The big monsters below trembled. At this moment, a loud roar spread from afar, and a hot hurricane made the big demon below sway and stand unsteadily. The face of the giant crocodile in the sky slightly changed, and its huge head was held high as it looked into the distance. I saw the sky of Bu Zhou Mountain, as if it had been burned by flames. Red clouds rolled over the sky, and the space was slightly distorted by the high temperature. This is the aura of that big Peng. What did he encounter during this collision? The giant crocodile in the sky let out a cry of surprise, and both of them, along with the great Peng bird, were one of the great demons around the Bu Zhou Mountain. Naturally, they were familiar with the scent of the great Peng bird. Upon second thought, his nephew was now in that remote mountain, and even if the commotion only affected him, it was enough to kill him. With a thought, the massive body suddenly stood up straight, and several streams of light flowed through its tail wings. The ground shook, and the towering crocodile carried an endless hurricane straight towards Mount Bu Zhou. Let's talk about countless areas near Mount Bu Zhou. The great demons led by the white tiger in the mountains are all vigilant about the surroundings of Bu Zhou Mountain. Once there is any wind or grass movement, they will quickly report to the Ye Feng inside Bu Zhou Mountain. When will Liu Shen bring me blessings? A double-headed wolf demon god looked longingly towards the place where Ye Feng was located. Just rest assured, Liu Shen won't deceive us. The white tiger demon said with firm eyes. He was very clear that with Ye Feng's strength, there was no need to tell such lies. These two big demons were talking vigorously, only to see dust flying in the distance, and the ground shaking incessantly under their feet, as if something huge was rapidly approaching the mountain. White Tiger was shocked and quickly got up to look into the sky. He saw a huge tail mixed with neon-colorless glow swaying left and right. The huge tail was covered with countless black and purple scales, as if it were a divine treasure armor. This is the towering crocodile of the ancient wasteland. He exclaimed in surprise, and a huge majesty descended on Mount Bu Zhou with the arrival of the towering crocodile. Countless wild beasts emit a low and alert voice. Within the Bu Zhou Mountain, after countless great demons surrendered, Ye Feng used these human hands to hunt and kill the vast beasts in order to obtain evolution points, which was much better than before. In just a moment, he used his evolutionary points to make the willow branches more numerous. Originally, there were only 20 willow branches, but now he has doubled the number of willow branches, totaling 40. With the increase of willow branches, the power of his supernatural power, forest and everything, also increased. However, what made him unsatisfied was still his current posture. The shape of this big tree was rooted in this place, and even with the cultivation of the golden immortal, it could not transform into form. Is it possible that my life in the wilderness will continue like this? The willow branches swayed, and a distressed voice sounded from the trunk of the tree. Roaming and rumbling. At that moment, the ground suddenly trembled inexplicably, as if something was rapidly approaching towards this place. A strong demonic aura swept along with the hurricane. Liu Shen, that ancient wasteland's towering crocodile is approaching Mount Bu Zhou. The white tiger demon hurried to report. The towering crocodile. Ye Feng's willow branches sway. Why did a big demon come to his territory? He completely forgot about himself. Not only had he just killed a crocodile, but also felt distressed by its strong defense. Quickly, the strong demonic aura had reached Ye Feng, and a pair of beast pupils the size of copper bells were swallowing purple glow as they coldly gazed at the huge willow tree in front of them, which was even taller than him. Hey, where is that big peng bird? There's also an alligator that connects to the sky. The giant crocodile spewed out words and looked at Ye Feng with a contemptuous expression, asking. Scream. The willow branches swayed, and an unknown breeze blew up. The big demons below are all staring intently at the towering crocodiles facing the same Ye Feng. This guy is on the same level as the Dapeng bird and also one of the ancient rulers of the wasteland. Are you looking for him? He's already dead. Ye Feng replied lightly, as if talking about something incredibly easy. After finishing, he didn't pay attention to the expression of the towering crocodile, but kept recalling something. Tongtian crocodile. Previously, he seemed to have killed that guy and also received a small amount of evolution points. What? The rock bird that has occupied the wudong tree all the year round is dead. The pupils of the giant crocodile shrank slightly, and endless white air spewed out from its bloody mouth, accompanied by a strong foul smell. Yeah, it's dead. That little crocodile is also dead. Ye Feng spoke without any taboos, and in a few words, the expression of this towering crocodile gradually became cold. As a towering crocodile, he is one of the ancient rulers of the wasteland. Whether it is a small demon or a big demon, when they see him, who doesn't crawl on the ground to show respect. However, the little tree spirit in front of him looked down upon no one, ignoring the majesty of his towering crocodile. Why did he die? With a strong aura of evil, the scales of the towering crocodile shimmered with a cold light, and its towering teeth shimmered with radiance. In an instant, the sky darkened and the atmosphere inside the mountain was strange. The demons that Ye Feng subdued were all afraid to speak, their bodies trembling as they watched everything. I killed him. The willow twig swayed up and down, and a faint sound accompanied by a gentle breeze entered the ears of the towering crocodile. New book release, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking reviews. Thank you all for your support. When did Bu Zhou Mountain have this big tree in Chapter 9? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Roar, roar. A roar of anger echoed through the entire Bu Zhou Mountain. By the time Ye Feng finished speaking, the heavenly crocodile had already sensed the scent of their unique bloodline, mixed with the scent of the great peng bird. How dare a little tree spirit take action to kill my nephew? The towering crocodile's eyes turned red, and its endless anger made its voice thunderous. At this moment, Ye Feng's mind was filled with black lines, and both the lines of the great peng bird and the towering crocodile were basically the same, which he couldn't bear anymore. This seed is. This towering crocodile wanted to say some more lines when he saw countless willow branches emitting golden lights spreading towards him. Almost in the blink of an eye, the massive body of the towering crocodile was entangled by golden willow branches. That's a body as tall as 50 zhang, so easily entangled. The heavenly crocodile wanted to say something more, but before its mouth could speak, it saw golden willow branches growing wildly, and a few golden butterflies occasionally flying by in the golden light. At the feet of Ye Feng, there were golden willow branches spreading wildly. The willow branches grew tender shoots, which became willow branches. In almost an instant, the huge body of the towering crocodile was completely enveloped. At this moment, the willow branches on Ye Feng's body were full of vitality, and even golden grass and flowers grew one after another. However, beneath the willow branches, the body of the towering crocodile continued to decay until it had no breath at all. "I'll go, this divine power is a bit too domineering, isn't it?" Ye Feng let out a cry of surprise. The towering crocodile, which was over 50 feet tall, had almost no time to react. It was trapped by the dense and diverse scenery, and without even letting go of its harsh words, it turned into a pair of remnants. "It's really pitiful." The mountain white tiger and other big demons, upon seeing this, felt inexplicably cold inside and shuddered fiercely. Is this the powerful strength of the Willow God? Ding, it has been detected that the host has used their divine power for the first time to kill the peerless demon, obtaining 50,000 evolution points. This life's divine power has been devoured and activated. The system sound followed, and then a property interface appeared in front of Ye Feng. Host. Ye Feng, world. Wilderness, body. Congenital willow tree, Shou Yuan. 1 Yuan meeting, cultivation, golden immortal, destiny skill. Devouring, able to devour all absorbable items and creatures, replenish vitality, and grow rapidly. Divine powers, forest and everything, immortal and endless, divine thunder decision, ability. None, evolution point. 70,000 points, an unknown special energy that can quickly enhance the host's growth ability and enhance the power of supernatural abilities. The method of obtaining it is for the host to explore on their own. The evolution point was originally consumed quite a bit, but with the help of big monsters such as the white tiger in the mountains, and the killing of this towering crocodile, it gained a lot of evolution points. Not bad, not bad. It would be great if there was such a guy coming to my door every day. Ye Feng happily shook the willow branches. The demon below trembled inexplicably upon hearing these words. If they wished to avoid these ferocious gods, Ye Feng would be fine, and they wished someone could bring them to their door. Perhaps as Ye Feng had anticipated, the big monsters he had killed seemed to have good bloodline. In the next few days, some monsters with similar or slightly weaker strength came to seek revenge. As for the result, there is no need to think about it, it has all turned into nutrients for Ye Feng. Unconsciously, Ye Feng's body became even more upright, and the willow branches gradually flourished. From a distance, Ye Feng could be seen at a glance. And as his body grew taller, Ye Feng could see more and more things. Will I become even bigger than Bu Zhou Shan if this trend continues? Ye Feng looked at his massive body curiously and said. Ding, improve your cultivation to reach the later stage of the golden immortal. The sound of the system suddenly rang out. Ye Feng has become accustomed to it, and all the monsters he has killed during this period have a background, which has also made him more proficient in the divine power of forest and everything. He seems to be rising with a trend of absolute dominance over Mount Bu Zhou. There are countless great demons under his command, and White Tiger and other great demons have also received the gift of Ye Feng. This so-called gift, that is to say, Ye Feng didn't need the demon pill of the Tongtian giant crocodile and directly rewarded by Hu and others. This actually boosted the cultivation of his main thugs. Sigh. When will I be able to transform and leave Bu Zhou Mountain to take a look everywhere? Ye Feng let out a sigh of admiration in his heart. But Ye Feng is the firstborn willow tree, and due to its uniqueness, it is absolutely difficult to transform it. On the vast land, above the 9 skies, in the heavenly court, Emperor Jiang is the leader of all immortals, with willow eyebrows and starry eyes appearing handsome and extraordinary. Heavenly Emperor, there was a phoenix aura emanating from Mount Bu Zhou recently, and the same aura suddenly collided from Mount Bu Zhou, causing a celestial anomaly. Do you want to investigate it? A divine general spoke in a deep voice. No need, the witch clan is restless, and there is no need to pay attention to the movements of Mount Bu Zhou. Instead, we should pay close attention to the direction of the witch clan. Tai said in a deep voice, leaving behind the so-called matter of not Zhou Shan. The other immortals naturally wouldn't take it to heart, but in this heavenly courtyard, a big bird with red feathers all over its body had a slight change in expression. Bu Zhou Shan, I remember I left that unfinished Xiansun in that place. No, I must go and take a look. This big bird murmurs to itself. A few days passed in the blink of an eye, and Ye Feng's body became more and more upright, and his cultivation gradually approached that of Tai Yi Jin Xian. The majesty emanating from the huge tree body gradually made the white tiger demon and others dare not lift their heads. From birth to now, it hasn't even been a year, and Ye Feng's cultivation level is close to that of Tai Yi Golden Immortal. If this cultivation speed is spread, it will stir up waves and waves in the entire wasteland world. These days are boring. Ye Feng looked at the sun setting in the west and suddenly sighed. For him, life seemed to follow the script, with almost no changes, which made him very distressed. But just as the sun was about to set in the west, a sound suddenly passed from the top of Ye Feng too. Now, it made Ye Feng feel energized. The willow branches swayed wildly, and Ye Feng kept looking towards the passing figure. Ha! The figure stepping on Shang Yun seemed to have noticed something, stopped in mid-air, and slowly turned back to look at Ye Feng, who was 100 feet tall. When did Bu Zhou Shan have such a big tree? The figure took a step forward, accompanied by a ray of light swallowing, and unexpectedly appeared in front of Ye Feng in a blink of an eye. Along with it came a powerful pressure that almost made Ye Feng unable to move, and his body seemed to be firmly locked in by a kind of qi. What a powerful cultivation! Ye Feng let out a secret exclamation of surprise. Can such willow trees still grow on Mount Bu Zhou today? The figure surrounded Ye Feng while exclaiming in surprise. Listening to his tone of voice, it seemed that he often passed by the mountain, but it was still the first time Ye Feng had seen this guy. New book release, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking reviews, thank you all for your support. Chapter 10. Ancestor of Earth Immortals, Zhen Yuanzi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Wow! The willow branches swayed restlessly, and the person in front of Ye Feng, dressed in a light yellow Taoist robe, was eye-catching with the 8 trigrams behind him. He held a brush in his hand and wore a Taoist hairpin on his head, combing his long hair neatly. The lifespan is not very high, but why is it so huge? The Taoist took a strong sniff at the scent on Ye Feng's body and exclaimed in surprise. Ye Feng's breath was hidden in his body, and if not carefully investigated, it would be difficult to find that this willow tree was a willow tree with a mid-level cultivation of the Golden Immortal. Wait, this plot seems to have been seen somewhere, and one only needs to smell the natural materials and treasures to know the specific age. Coupled with this outfit, a name is about to come out. Zhen Yuanzi. The Zhenyuan son of the ancestor of earthly immortals, who only worships heaven and earth but not Guanyin, has a very high seniority. Wow! The willow branches began to sway restlessly up and down. This was the first immortal that Ye Feng saw when he crossed into the world of the wilderness, and it was also Zhen Yuanzi. This willow tree still has a bit of spirituality. Zhen Yuanzi smiled slightly, then pinched his fingertips and hit Ye Feng with a golden light. Jin Guang entered his body, and Ye Feng felt a divine sense as if it had been placed on him. After finishing all of this, Zhen Yuanzi nodded contentedly and slowly left. After it left, the white tiger demon and other creatures appeared one after another. Liu Shen, we were completely unaware of the arrival of that great immortal, so we did not report it. The white tiger demon Zhan Kiki said that even the great immortal valued the willow god so much, and he finally did not follow the wrong person. At this moment, Ye Feng felt a bit strange. He didn't understand why Zhen Yuanzi would leave a divine sense on him. Empowered by divine consciousness, Zhen Yuanzi always feels his presence, and this feeling is like being monitored by someone. This Zhen Yuanzi himself loves natural resources and treasures, and his actions really make Ye Feng feel a bit uneasy. Can't this mark be dispelled? Ye Feng murmured to himself. As soon as the words fell, my heart moved. The power of the 9-9 thunder calamity swept towards the place where the divine knowledge gold seal had fallen, and the fierce lightning struck heavily on the massive tree body of Ye Feng. The seemingly solid divine sense golden seal, under the bombardment of the 9-9 thunder calamity, transformed into golden ripples and dissipated between heaven and earth. Ye Feng was immediately overjoyed at the sight of this, so that he would not have a feeling of being remembered at any time. At the same time, within the territory of Xinyo-Hezhou, Zhen Yuanzi flew towards Honghuang temple in the clouds and mist. Before reaching the center of the temple, his eyebrows suddenly furrowed and he stopped to look towards the way he came. It's strange, but in just a moment, it wiped out my divine sense. Could it be that the willow tree has a master? With a murmur, Zhen Yuanzi's sparkling eyes were lost in thought. Master, the red sperm immortal has arrived at the observation center, just wait for Master's arrival. Just as Zhen Yuanzi was stunned, a child suddenly flew out of Honghuang and respectfully said. Oh. Unexpectedly, the Taoist brother has arrived. I would like to show him the ginseng fruit that has been cultivated for nearly 1,000 years. Zhen Yuanzi burst out laughing a few times, then turned into a stream of light and penetrated into the Taoist temple. As for the matter of the willow trees on Mount Bu Zhou, he temporarily forgot about it. Not here in Zhoushan. During this period, Bu Zhou Mountain has also become peaceful, and at the same time, there have been more humans going up the mountain to hunt. After all, the entire Bu Zhou Mountain is under the management of the White Tiger Demon under Ye Feng's command, and the territory of the wilderness giant beasts is gradually shrinking. Many wilderness giant beasts have listed this mountain as a forbidden area and cannot enter it freely. The power of faith is constantly flowing, and incense is lingering. Ye Feng surprisingly has his own temple to worship in the human tribe, which will undoubtedly make his cultivation progress by leaps and bounds. In addition to the evolution points he has obtained, but in a few days, Ye Feng's body has grown by tens of zhang. And the willow branches are lush, with many tender green leaves slowly growing out. Even outside the Bu Zhou Mountain, one can see Ye Feng's massive body at a glance, along with countless vibrant willow branches. Why can't I transform into a form even though I have almost achieved the cultivation level of the golden immortal in the later stage? Ye Feng let out a long sigh. Jin Xian's later cultivation was infinitely close to that of Tai Jin Xian, and such cultivation was enough to show his divine abilities in the world of the wilderness. However, it could not be transformed and was only superficial. As the days gradually calmed down, it really made Ye Feng's heart itch and unbearable. However, in this peaceful day, the essence and blood marks he had obtained from killing the Xiaopeng bird before were shining brightly. A cause and effect entangled it, which seemed to be his first strand of causal entanglement in the vast world. Above the heavenly court, looking down from top to bottom, one can see scattered dense humans wearing the robe of a wild beast walking around the earth. A dazzling light flashed across the sky, immediately attracting everyone's attention. Countless humans looked up, with both confusion and shock in their eyes. It's really ridiculous to be an ignorant human. Emperor Jiang, who looked down at the earth, looked down at the unknown humans below with contemptuous eyes. How should such a creature survive in the wasteland? Is it Empress Nu watching us? The tribal people all kneel and shout, with devout expressions and awe in their eyes. Similarly, the more it made Emperor Jiang feel contemptuous from the bottom of his heart. If the Great War were to begin, this group of humans would probably become extinct. He thought in his heart. Huifeng, do you think this human being is something extra? Emperor Jiang slowly spoke up, with a phoenix feather like fire beside him. The phoenix did not answer, and the eagle-eyed pupils were somewhat mesmerized. Huifeng, what's wrong with you? Upon seeing this, Emperor Jiang frowned and asked. Causal entanglement, I'm going to Mount Bu Zhou. With a cry, the phoenix spits out human words. Oh. Bu Zhou Shan, it seems to be your bloodless descendant again. Go and return quickly. Emperor Jiang raised his long sleeves and said several times in displeasure. Thank you very much, Heavenly Emperor. The phoenix murmured and then transformed into a cluster of smallpox, heading straight towards the direction of the uncertain sky. As for Emperor Jiang, he was still observing the small and ignorant human beings below. Speaking of Ye Feng, the scenery of Bu Zhou Mountain seems to be like this every year, and the days gradually calm down, which makes him feel a bit comfortable. The nearly 200 Zhang body remained motionless, with all the branches hanging low, as if restrained in vitality. White Tiger and many other demons stood up from under Ye Feng's feet and quietly retreated, afraid of disturbing Ye Feng who was already asleep. After the restoration of calmness in Bu Zhou Mountain, Ye Feng naturally fulfilled his promise to many great demons, using his cultivation power to radiate vitality and the 9 thunder calamity, allowing these demons to understand and comprehend the realm. This has made many great demons feel a bit touched in recent times, which has made them even more revered for Ye Feng. A few big demons retreated slightly, but a dazzling flame suddenly erupted in the distant sky, and the waves of fire rushed towards them. A powerful pressure immediately made it difficult for the big demons such as White Tiger to breathe. New book release, Seeking Collection, Seeking Flowers, Seeking Reviews. Thank you all for your support.